Hey everybody, Carbonite Dreamer here. Hope everybody's doing okay. Today we're going to be going over the Atomic Shop for the week of January 24th, 2023 to January 31st, 2023. We're also going to be going over all of the things that have been implemented, the changes and such to the game that happened on the 24th of January 2023. Let's get started. All right, we head into the Atomic Shop and looks like we have a new abandoned mine bundle. 1,500 atoms for the whole thing. You've got the abandoned mine kit, which is makes it look like you can build a base. Looks like a mine. The abandoned mine ramp, abandoned mine wallpaper, and floor. That's kind of cool if you want to be a miner, basically. That's kind of a neat thing if you want to do that. Is it worth 1,500 atoms? I'm not sure, but it's to me looks a little bit better, more well thought out than some of the other ones that are a little bit more. So, I mean, if you really want it, yeah, I would have to say go for it. We've got 5 days for this week on the minecart cooking stove. Kind of a neat addition, but it's just cooking stove, but still kind of a neat thing you can add in there if you want to do the full role playing experience. The Surveyor Power Armor paint, it's 30% off. Not bad. It's for any of them, any of your power armors, and you can basically make it look like the excavator. Kind of neat. Is it worth 840? Not really. Not unless that's something you really want. The abandoned mine, which I already own, that's available again. Then you have your Miner's Delight bundle, which comes with the Garan employee helmet, the Garan extractor excavator paint, Candy Claws paint for the Mole Miner gauntlet, which I got that, which was nice. The ore basket backpack and Garan employee outfit. Okay, so there's the power armor paint. There's the Candy Claws. I actually do like that one. I think that one looks really sick. There's your backpack, and then that's your helmet and back and outfit right there. Helmet, outfit, and backpack look kind of cool all together. And that's if you want to role play as like the mole miners. That's what the mole miners were wearing before they mutated. Is it worth 960 atoms for me or a total of 1,500 atoms? If you really want to, if you are really into it, I would like to see it go a little bit lower. It's not my thing, not really what I'm really interested in. But if there are people out there that really want it, I say, hey, go for it. Anytime you can get one that has some discounts on it, I would go for it. The Cappy stuff, the Cappy backpack, Cappy rug, the girl rocket suit, and the neighborhood square shelter are still in the Atomic Shop. You have Rock Out, the emote for taking a picture. And then you have these two emotes available. The So Hungry and Dying of Thirst one are 30% off. Not really big on that one. I mean, they're just emotes. Those were attempted to bring out for when people were running around. But there's so much water, especially if you've got all of the water stuff. You shouldn't need any of either one of those. It's not worth 210 atoms. It's worth it, at most, I would say 50. That if they drop it to 50 atoms, I think consider getting it, but it's not worth that much. Speaking of the deep well's still here. The patriotic paint's still here. They've got the Liberty Prime Power Armor set, the Raider Waster bundle. They brought in the Communist Bunker. They have the photo frame bundle, which let's see, you've got grind frame, safety first frame, happy holidays frame, it's Friday frame, I survived frame, and sports nostalgia frame. Now, this is photo frames you can put around your photos to share your photos with your friends. Here's the thing. Those you have to search out in order to be able to share them. One of these days, I'll show you where they are. It's a royal pain in the butt. Basic power armor set. Basically, it gives you for the T45, T51, T60, and the XO1 power armors, gives you the red, green, blue. That's basically it. It lets you do red, green, blue for all of those. If you just want a basic color scheme for it, is it worth 400 with the 400 atoms? Yeah, that one's worth it. It's it's $4 and you get 3 different colors for all of those power armors. That's not bad. So yeah, my personal terminal's in back in. You definitely want to have that. That is a nice little thing. It will allow you to see what dailies that you need to do as far as Pioneer Scouts and Bibby Ridge. Kind of a neat little thing. Lets you keep track of your dailies. Kind of a fun thing. Our greatest hits, the communal fire pit and the rustic watermill are in. The rustic watermill, I actually do like this. It's a generator. It's basically a medium generator. So I think it makes five. I think it only makes 5 power, but it's kind of a neat little aspect. It gives you kind of the water wheel feel. Actually, it's kind of nice. I actually do kind of like that one. The contemporary housing and contemporary wood floors are back in, and then they're pushing their lunchbox. Then they have the lunchbox icon. That one I like to use because that way you can tell people you're going to be using a lunchbox. They can all get close to you and they can all get the buff. The armory weapon paint is 30% off for the next 12 days. Let's hope they keep it at the 12 days and don't cut it off on the 31st like they did with the ghillie suit. But that gives you the Copperhead Gatling plasma paint, the matte black handmade rifle, the Black Knight Gatling gun, Super Mutant Super Sledge, the patriotic paint for the Fixer, the gold 50 cal, the Blackbird hunting rifle paint. I have all of them except where you can see the Copperhead and the Super Mutant. And as far as the 50 cal, that's what the color scheme I use on my 50 cal. There's your Fixer, that's your handmade, that's the 50 cal. There's your Gatling plasma, there's the Gatling, and that's the Super Sledge. Let's see. They basically are dropping 600 atoms off of the cost of it. It's a total thing of 2,000. They're dropping 600 off of it. That'll be 1,400 atoms. Is that worth it? Yes and no. If you're really into color scheming your weapons, personalizing them a little bit, yes. Otherwise, no. I'm not a big Super Sledge fan, and I really have not played around with the Gatling plasmas all that much. I mean, they seem nice, but I really haven't played around with them. So with what I've got, it's 378 atoms. It might be worth it. That's about $4, a little less than $4. So I might do that. Not sure. Then we've got the special and free offers. Okay. The today's free is the perfect bubble gum. The weekly free is they are bringing the punch bowl back. What's really kind of neat about the punch bowl is you can fill it up with alcohol. You can fill it up with your alcohol that you have in your storage bin, and people that come by can grab a drink. Is basically for kind of like hosting a party. It's kind of cool. I kind of do like it. Every once in a while, I'll throw one out and just kind of have a little fun, especially New Year's. It's really fun around New Year's. The Mole Miner camera paint is on sale for this is the daily on sale thing. If you're into that, I've got the white crocodile one, the Mothman one, a bunch of other ones. Is it worth 210? Well, yeah. If you're really into the aesthetics, I would say go ahead and get it because you do use the camera a lot during your dailies and things like that. So having a nice personalized camera is kind of a nice thing to have. Of course, they still have your ammo storage box and the vendor bot. The vendor bot's going to be around for at least another couple of weeks, but not much longer after that. So if you haven't got that yet, get it. Okay, because otherwise they're going to hide it, and you're going to have to go digging for it. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the gum. Perfect bubble gum is definitely something you want to get your hands on as much as possible, because what the perfect bubble gum does is it stops your hunger and your thirst from going down for a full hour. Those are amazing for raids or for going in and doing the silos, things like that. You don't have to worry about your hunger. Really, really nice thing to have. That's all for the Atomic Shop this week. Let's go on and check out what they've done with the game with the new stuff that they came out with on the 24th. Okay, we're going to go check out the website. Here's the update notes for January 24th, 2023. First and foremost is the design changes improvements. Now, this is going to be one of the big ones. All right. And it states here, although we are playing on a post-apocalyptic world, we still want to keep that world fair, fun, and inviting to all. While you have been exploring and rebuilding, we have been working on a new system that works behind the scenes to remove illegal attachment combinations that violate the end user license agreement to ensure that every single player is using and trading the same items and has the same advantages as you. Today's update, we are implementing a system that will remove illegal mods attached to weapons that cannot be attained in game. Most players will not notice any change to their existing weapons. However, players who are in possession of a weapon with a mod that cannot be equipped naturally to the weapon may notice a damage decrease to the weapon and mod will no longer exist. Example, like we watched the other night, we saw a railway rifle with a minigun barrel on it. Or you have the guns that will shoot orbital launch explosions and all kinds of stuff. This is all hacked weapons. So all hacked weapons are officially grounded. You can't do them anymore. That's one of the big ones. Everyone has been waiting for that one because people got sick and tired of that. Yeah, it's nice that they can do a bunch of damage, but the problem is, it's like on the Scorch Beast Queen. If you don't do a certain amount of damage, you don't get any drops from that. And most of the time, it's like 3 people sitting there. They just nuke her down, and nobody else gets any drops. So they get the only drops from the Scorch Beast Queen. Same thing with a Titan. Same that does that too. So I'm glad to see that one. The bug fixes and improvements. The backpack flares. Various adjustments to the view of backpack flares in the crafting menu. Made them look a little bit easier. No big deal. The cryolator made adjustments to the frost texture on the weapon model. It looks a little bit better now. Let's see. Flares increase the zoom out of backpacks to allow more visibility on the flares. So you can actually see them a little bit better, see how they look. I still think the flares should actually do something, like give you buffs or something like that. That's just me. Loot bags. Various fixes to loot bag skins that were missing collision. They made the loot bags actually easier to see, and they weren't like clipping into the ground. I've seen a lot of that happen. Power armor. Adjustments to the player's first-person view while wearing the Alien Invader power armor paint and using a heavy weapon. I like that. I used it for a little while. The left arm literally obstructed at least a quarter of the screen. You couldn't see anything past the arm, especially when you were using heavy weapons, which is what I use. The other power armor thing fixed an issue where X01 power prototype paint could not be reapplied after changing paints or skins. That's nice. I know a couple people that wanted that and were upset they couldn't. Fixed an issue that can change the color of the highlighted weapon parts at a weapons workbench after entering and exiting power armor. That's nice. Rifles. Applying the aligned stock mod to a laser rifle or ultrasight rifle now changes its appearance to reflect the mod. Okay, neat. Vault Girl arm wrestling machine. The player character no longer clips through the machine during its animation. That's nice. The Nuka-Cola Dark paint for a pump action shotgun now displays correctly. Okay, cool. Audio stuff. Scout's banner. Using a Scout's banner now plays the correct sound effect while being used. So no more the ding. It actually plays an actual one. The spinning barrel sound effect from miniguns, Gatling plasmas, Gatling lasers, and pepper shakers now stops when entering water. Okay. I didn't see that much of an issue, but okay. Let's see. Camps and shelters. Allies. A proper name is now displayed for Sam, Catherine, and Zeno when inspecting or placing aliens in the player's camp, or allies, correction, in the player's camp. Cool. Oh, nice. This one's nice. The 9-ball table now correctly is a +2 charisma buff to players after being used. That has been a problem for almost 3 months now. The spore plant bed now correctly gives the well-rested bonus after being used. Nice. Displays. The Thirst Scepter can now be displayed on the full-sized wall weapon rack. Okay, so it's not all, don't have to use a small one, you can use a big one. Free cam. Players can no longer place floor objects on top of their character while in free cam mode. That's good, because people were doing that, playing and placing the objects on top of them, and it was getting them stuck. They would actually have to get out and go back in for it to be fixed. It was annoying. Message board. Neon letters can now be applied to the message board kiosk. Ooh, nice. The abandoned mine camp kit roof now correctly uses the same amount of budget as other roof corner variants. Yeah, it was using a whole lot more, like almost triple the amount. Trophies. Fixed an issue that caused nuclear winter trophies and statues to not be buildable in camps and shelters. That's good. Those people who did do the nuclear winter stuff should be able to display their trophy. Pirate ship. Adjustments to the collision and snapping on the landlubber pirate ship and sea leg pirate ship. Okay, so those were having issues. Radioactive holiday tree. Fixed an issue where the radioactive holiday tree would leave persistent radiation when stored in a blueprint. Oh, yeah, that would suck. Recipes. Players who have learned the recipe for Cappy and Bottle's couple sign can now correctly build the object. Oh, finally being able to build that. Survival tent. Fixed an issue which could prevent players from fast traveling to their team members' APC survival tent. Yeah, I used the APC survival tent, and a couple of my mods couldn't fast travel to it. They had to fast travel to me instead. Glad they fixed that. Watch post prefab. Fixed a collision on the top stair. Oh, cool. Nuka World on Tour. Events completing a Nuka World on Tour now correctly count towards complete events in the Ash Heap Challenge. Oh, nice. Enemies. Mad Dog Malone. When in his down state, Mad Dog Malone no longer appears in the nearby corpse menu. Ah, so you can't loot him anymore. That used to be a big thing. You down him and you could go over there and loot off of someone, do a group loot, and still pull all his loot off. Kind of messy, but whatever. Let's see. The environment. Garan Mining HQ addressed an issue that prevents players from entering the Garan Mining headquarters from the Garan Mining lobby. Nice. Nuka World on Tour. Lady G's stall is now in its proper place. Oh, so they finally put her where she's supposed to be. Events. Distinguished guests. Players will now receive proper rewards for each completion stage of this event. Finally. That has been going on for over a year. See, Feed the People. Food canisters will no longer despawn during Feed the People when a player enters the loading dock. Yeah, that was a big that was a big issue, especially when you were doing it by yourself on your private server, because you can do it totally do it by yourself. But you'd go in there and you go to the loading dock and all of them would disappear. You couldn't finish it. Let's see. 4 Nuka World on Tour events. Let's see what it goes. Number 1, all Nuka World on Tour public events now correctly drop legendary cores upon event completion. Nuka World on Tour. Number 2, What Slept Beneath now grants the correct amount of XP. So they actually got the right amount of XP. The XP wasn't enough. It was, instead of like you would with the Scorch Beast Queen, you were getting like you committed a regular event. You were supposed to get more XP with it. Seismic Activity now properly grants Ultrasight Scrap as an event reward. Nice. And the deposit buckaroos counter in Most Wanted now displays the number of buckaroos needed instead of using a progress bar. That's nice. Items. Junk. Gold tablespoons now provide gold instead of silver when scrapped. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Gunpowder. Gunpowder is now classified as a junk slash scrap item, which means you can pull that out of your storage container and put it in your scrap container. So it means you can have more gunpowder. Definitely nice thing. That is one of the heaviest things. You know, you get 200 gunpowder on you and you're carrying an extra 20 to 30 pounds. It's annoying. Nuka-Cola. Nuka Grape now shows the correct value of rads removed after drinking. Okay, yeah, that was something that was bugging people. The T65 right arm now correctly requires aluminum for crafting to match the left arm. Yeah. Right away diluted. Reduce the debuff timer from 2 hours to 7 minutes to be more aligned with right away, which has a 15-minute debuff timer. Yeah. A lot of people were upset with that, and that has been going on since 2019. Yeah, they finally fixed it. I mean, it only took them 4 years. Sunshine oil. Adjusted the sunshine oil to use the correct damage resistance effect. And the damage reduction also now is increased by the herbivore mutation. Oh, that's nice. I know some herbivores that will really enjoy that DR. That's kind of nice. They did some various localization fix, perks, Quack Surgeon, Meyer Magic Mushroom, and Vintage Meyer Magic Mushroom now works with Quack Surgeon perk. Okay. Perk sharing added a gameplay setting to allow players to reject shared perks from team members. Oh, okay, nice. That way, if you're running the same perk, you could just reject their shared. That's nice. Quest. This is disarming discovery. Dagger will no longer become hostile to the player prematurely. Yeah, that one really was messed up. That would screw up that entire quest line. Flavors of Mayhem. Players will no longer receive syringer ammo upon relog. People getting a whole bunch of syringer ammo. Not very many people I know use a syringer. Let's see. Stability. Client stability. Address the client crash that could occasionally occur when returning to the main menu from an expedition. Yeah, that happened a couple of times to me. User interface. Okay. Local looting. Allies in a down state will no longer appear in the nearby corpses menu. Yeah. People were exploiting that. The like hackers and stuff. People were letting the people get downed, and then you could go over there and do the local loot, and you could literally take all the items off of them. It was really bad. People were not wanting to group up. That'll be nice. Let's see, fanfare. Adjusted the seismic activity event now starting banner to not overlap animations. Okay. Pit Boy, bobblehead. Big Guns now displays its buff in the Pit Boy. All right, finally. Oh boy, this one's going to be messed up. Weapons. The explosive prefix on weapons only applies to bullets, excluding railway spikes. That means no more legacy items. They just got rid of legacy items. That's going to mess up a bunch of people. I mean, that doesn't really affect me all that much because, I mean, the only legacy weapon that I have was level 35. You know, I was just holding on to it because it was a legacy weapon. But yeah, that means that pretty much any energy weapon that they had the explosive prefix on there doesn't exist anymore, and that's gonna make a bunch of people mad, but it's gonna make a whole bunch of people happy at the same time. So I don't know. There's some people that really are going to be upset about that because that's something that they really didn't do anything. It's not their fault. They were just using what was given to them. But still, I think they should have implemented at least the 4-star because I mean we're coming up on November of this year is going to be the 5-year anniversary of the game, and we still don't have the 4 and 5-star for the guns yet. No, there's 4 or 5-star. It's there. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars, but you can't do 4 or 5 stars. So they should have implemented that along with that. I know a bunch of people who are going to be mad about that. Recoverable projectiles from the player's weapons are no longer able to be looted by other players. That's going to be nice. A lot of people who uses the railway spikes and arrows that were getting really upset because people could loot all their items. There's a chance that those items will not be destroyed and you can just pick them back up, help with your projectiles so you don't use all your resources making projectiles. Those are built into the actual weapons themselves, and people were just taking them from other people. Flamer, addressing issue causing the flamer to give false positive damage numbers when hitting enemies in VATS. The flamer will now hit enemies during VATS more efficiently. Oh, okay, nice. The auto axe and chainsaw now show the number of mods unlocked at workbenches. Oh, okay. See, the cultist dagger and bowie knife can now be modded. Ooh, interesting. That's going to be cool. Deathclaw Gauntlet and Meat Hook no longer use one-handed weapon perks. They still benefit from unarmed perks. Oh, so there's no double stacking. Ooh, I know a couple of melee guys that are going to be really mad because they could, the Deathclaw Gauntlet and Meat Hook could use both one-handed and unarmed perks. So they would double stack them and get just huge damage buffs. And they're gonna have to redo and retool their entire. Oh man, that's not gonna be fun. The sleek mod effect now stacks when applied to 2 pieces of leg armor. Ooh, cool. Mr. Handy Buzzblade reduces the VATS AP cost for Mr. Handy Buzzblade. All right. Assault rifles now correctly have the rifle classification regardless of how it's modded. Yeah, some of these didn't had the classification on them changed, and so could really mess with stuff. Radium rifles now have an increased chance to learn mods when scrapped. Good, good, because scrapping those things trying to get a mod out of there is just ridiculously hard. I think I scrapped 1,000 of the things, and I still don't have all of the mods for it. Thirst Sapper fixed an issue that caused unlimited throwables with the Thirst Sapper. I knew they were going to do that. They had a thing where you could, with the Thirst Sapper equipped, you could just throw a like infinite amount of grenades, and most of them were people using were like nuke grenades and stuff like that. Oh man, I'm glad to see it happen because it was just ridiculously annoying. It was because you're sitting there trying to do an event and everyone's just chucking grenades, and so you've got grenades going off, and then like especially the seismic event, you had grenades going off, people dropping orbital strikes, artillery strikes going on. It would crash the server. It was ridiculously annoying. Another Thirst Zapper one fixed a bug where the water ammo for the Thirst Zapper appears in the favorites wheel. Oh, good. And the world stuff. Okay, these are for your private worlds. Fallout First stuff. Fixed an issue causing several quests and event related NPCs to not be present on private worlds. Finally! Oh, there are so many of those NPCs that are supposed to be there that keep not being there on the private world. So if you have to go to the public in order to finish quests and stuff like that. And fixed an issue causing legendary exchange stations and the encrypted terminal to not appear in private worlds. Yeah, that was happening a lot. There were spots where those the exchange stations would disappear and you had to bounce around all over the place. It was just a waste of time. The encrypted terminal, not so much for me because I really don't do much with it. Don't really see people doing it in the encrypted terminal in the private world anymore because most of the big heavy weapons and stuff just not going to happen. Very few people play with multiple people in private worlds. It's mainly to run by yourself. All right, and that appears to be the end of the list for it. A lot of stuff has changed, both good and bad. I'm not really looking forward to what people are going to be yelling about with the ammunition, the explosive prefix. And I know a couple people who are going to be really upset about that Deathclaw Gauntlet not being able to double up that. I know people are going to be upset about that. Not much we can do about it. We're just going to have to adapt. I'm really glad they got rid of hacked weapons. I think that's about it. There's not really much more. So we went over the stuff that's changed, all the new stuff, and we've got all the stuff coming from the Atomic Shop for this week. So I think that's it. Anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you folks today. And I hope to see you again next week. You all take care. This is Carbonite Dreamer signing off. Later. Thank you all very much for watching. And we will continue this story in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you all at a later date. Peace out.